Hey, what's going on, guys? So, I'm late to the party on this, primarily because I just didn't think that this was a big deal, but we live in 2025 and nothing makes sense anymore. Semi-recently, cartoonist Daniel Warren Johnson came under fire from conservatives for drawing absolute Batman choking out an ICE agent. And first of all, this is without a doubt the biggest non-issue related to the ongoing national debate regarding ICE, because a drawing of a nebulous, unidentifiable person being hurt, at least as far as I'm concerned, is far less of a problem than actual real-life people being racially profiled and disappeared by the government, as is the inevitable reactionary violence in response and the potential fallout that follows. You know, like, one of those is a far greater issue than the other, and I would just let your common sense figure out which is which. But back to the topic at hand. This was at New York Comic Con. You know, Daniel Warren Johnson took on a commission, which for those of you who are maybe new to comics, in the world of comics, or you just don't know what a commission is, commissions are when you hire an artist to basically make fan art. And people commission artists to draw lots of things. You know, I think it was either like 2 or 3 years ago. Again, Daniel Warren Johnson was commissioned to draw Namor the Submariner pumping Sue Storm full of tartar sauce 3 fish sticks deep while riding the Kraken. And that's how I discovered Daniel Warren Johnson. But yeah, you know, people ask for some wild commissions all the time at conventions. And this was just one of them. And again, the ICE agent in question is unidentifiable. You know, they're wearing a mask. He didn't draw them as like a caricature of any real person. This isn't a Gretchen Felker Martin situation. You know, like that, I understood. This less so. Significantly less so. And moreover, this has kind of been Batman's thing since like the 80s. And I realize that cultural memory is short-lived, but there was a pretty notoriously violent police bombing that took place in Philadelphia in 1984. It's called the Move bombing. Frank Miller and David Mazzucchelli took inspiration from that when the GCPD bombed a tenement, killing a bunch of people just to get to Batman, to which Batman responded by beating the absolute fuck out of the GCPD SWAT unit. And Batman's been getting into fights with cops and other law enforcement agencies ever since, in literally every medium. You got Batman mowing down GCPD in 2/3 of the Nolan trilogy. Batman's busting through Ellen Yendel's GCPD and the U.S. military under Ronald Reagan in Dark Knight Returns, and that's the one Batman book that almost everybody knows about. Normies fucking love that comic. The Batman Arkham Quadrilogy is the biggest solo superhero gaming franchise, and 2 of them are just Batman versus the cops. So Batman fighting law enforcement is clearly not a problem, and it hasn't been a problem for the 40-something years that DC's been telling Batman stories after Frank Miller sort of popularized that concept. So what's the real issue here? And before you start typing in the comments, it's a rhetorical question. I already know the answer. This just goes back to what I've said in videos before. Superheroes and comic books hit a pop culture plateau just as the political climate in the West degenerated into a Call of Duty lobby back in like 2015, 2016, which led to the rise of right-wing grifters building entire careers off of anti-leftist rage bait. That's what all the anger surrounding this commission is. It's just more online grifting, go woke, go broke rage bait. Anyway, congratulations to whoever commissioned the original piece. Looks dope. I hope to one day, once I'm no longer broke, get my hands on some original Daniel Warren Johnson art. In the meantime, I guess read Absolute Batman and take care of yourselves. Peace.